Okay, so just now, as I mentioned, we have Sulam. So this is service learning in for Malaysia. So it's known as Sulam. So it was officiate in 2019. But before that, of course, we already have service learning in university in Malaysia. So this Sulam also have been active since it was launched. Like this year, they have also organized some competitions among the IPTAs. Uh, I mean, I think all higher learning institutions, as well. Every in terms of admin work, like us, we also have to do some reporting, Sulam, regarding the course that have the service learning uh, through the faculty and faculty to the USC just now, as we chatted earlier. Now, UNIMAS, we have the University Community Sustainability Center. So it's where we do the reporting and then we submit to them. Two parties, one to USC, another to the PPPA, the one who oversees the audit, the MQA, and so on. So now Sulam also, in a way, audited. I mean, the service learning part is also audited by the MQA, right? So part under Sulam. I think next slide, Sue. Right.
Yes. This
So
one.
yeah. So basically, who involved in service learning? Uh, we look at it as in three parties here, three stakeholders. We have the students, we have the community partners, faculty or university as one whole. Still, of course, faculty and university here, we work together, support each other. So we have the USC there as well. So community partners here can be the community that we work with, like either villages or schools or some NGOs or any community that you would like to apply to do the service learning there. I think one of the question passed to us, I think it was Cherry, I think. From Cherry, you mentioned what sort of criteria. So we don't really pick that much who can be part of the service learning, but we try our best to cater, especially those who are lack of maybe ICT knowledge, because we are from the faculty of computer science, and our students, the service learning itself, where the student apply knowledge they learn from a course or the whole thing, what they've learned in their study, to the setting, to the community, what they can give back to the community. So other faculty, they might approach, of course, in a different what the program of their study, like creative design or creative arts or counselling. So they might have what they can offer to the needs, to fulfill the needs or the requirement of that community. Okay. Okay, so
Yeah.
So the why we want, of course, the way we see it, it's for the students. It's for the academic learning. They have they're able to apply it in more, how to say, not in theoretical only. They have to learn to work in a team. They have to learn how to engage, how to speak with the community, like before COVID, when we when we go to the villages first time, so they don't really know how to approach the the head of kampong, maybe what is the protocol they were thinking, or how to go or to people's house, or what is it, what are the do's and the don'ts. So they are kind of learning how to communicate, how to socialize, and they observe a lot. Different places, different location might have different things, different ways. Like someone not from Malaysia or somebody from Peninsula. If they in Sarawak, maybe it's a different way. So it's something they're not going to get it in class. But at the same time, they have to use whatever they learn in class, in their study, to in a way deliver what service learning. What can they deliver to help to the community. So at the same time, they have the civic learning there. They're experiencing that also. It's bigger than the setting of just looking or meeting the lecturers or in the university life only, their course mates only. So they learn how to uh, uh, to to work with the community themselves. So they have a sense of social being belong to the community. They feel proud after that. That's what the feedback we usually get from students who have completed the course. Okay, so
Right.
right. So okay, talking about the course just now. So for in our faculty, I mean in faculty FIT or FFC SIT, we have this. It's a TMF here. It's the faculty core. It's a faculty core course where we have 5 programs: information systems, software engineering, network. Uh, we have the network program. We have the multimedia program and the computational science program. So the way how we approach through one big course, faculty core. There are pros and cons, okay, in having this kind of structure. I think discussed earlier. So I heard like Tariq, you mentioned just now. You guys also already started with your course, the HDI course for the SL. So here, that is maybe by uh, depending to the lecturer on voluntary basis whether they embed right service learning. So like here, we are required to have service learning in the course. Our students need to take at least a course that has service learning elements. So it's part under one program core here. So one of the learning outcome here is where it addresses this service learning component. So if you have your course going to do service learning, to have service learning elements, so you have to revise or relook back at the learning outcome, see how it has to clearly address that service learning elements. Because I think MQA would also see this as proof as when we do the audit for the Sulam. So it has to clearly mention this. Like here in this course, we have mentioned there's a appropriate social skill, analytical ability, civic, ethical. So there is one of the learning outcome maybe has to have these service learning elements. And for this course also, so if you can see, it's a faculty core, and it's a very, how to say, not general course, but it is a course where students have to use whatever knowledge they gain from other courses as well. Technopreneurship and product development. So it involves some entrepreneurship, it involves some technological technology knowledge, some product development skills. So it has all those elements. So that's why we pick this course as well. Uh, but I think for other faculty in Unimas also, they are adapting like what you guys might be doing. They have put it in other separate program. They do not put it in one faculty core kind of course. They have maybe they have a specific like IS, for example, IS program. They have a specific program core, so that will be the ultimate course to have that service learning element, for example. So other faculty are doing that. Uh, so there are two options lah, meaning that you can do by one main major course, or each, like for example, if here we have 5 programs, we might have 5 courses doing separately. So the coordination, maybe we leave it to the lecturer of the course, the coordinator of the course. Okay, so like for our course here, the service learning assessment, the component or the percentage here is 40%. I think when during our time, firstly, when we started the program, Tariq, we had only like 15%. Over the years, from feedbacks from communities as well, I think we've gone through a few, we call it quality improvement, CQI, and so on. So the percentage is increased. So here we have individual assessment, then we have the group, we have the community, which is the community supervisor, marks as well, and the peer assessment. So peer assessment are also done, where I think it's crucial also because we are also evaluating like the teamwork when they do the service learning. So like the individual and the group, basically we look at it's evaluated by um, the service learning supervisor in the faculty. So we have those reflection reports and of course the project itself that we evaluate. Okay, that's all I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the grouping, this is what we have, the structure we have in our faculty. So maybe different programs, you might have lesser group, lesser students and so on. So we have about 10, maximum 10. Sometimes we might have only 8 to 9. So depending to the batch, but usually we have 10 students per group, and then one community supervisor, as well as one service, of course, one service learning supervisor will be assigned, and also one project per group. So usually this group, they have their leader, they need to appoint the project leader. They also, we ask them to set up an structure, organization structure. Usually they have this, those uh, handling the logistics, secretary, photographer, all those. We get them to organize themselves, how they plan. And then for the SL supervisor, usually we monitor them. Some we require them to meet us weekly, maybe, and this thing.
Attendenti de doctrone zadede
Okay,
vegete dawi che do da ave ka doctrone sarakla mashwara ho kana adi ko vedita doctor sashai se ko vedita
all right.
adi ka chikinda.
So we have the iklan. So we have the service learning methodology here. So this was first done, created by Dr. Hanani and Dr. Nadia, as well as the team. We have Dr. Swaila as well as the previous dean as well, Dr. Johari. So the methodology here, it involves three phases basically. So the phase one where we look at the service learning, the planning, the analysis, and the design. So if you can see, it's more like a bit like the system analysis and design. But over here, of course, we have the community approach. And then the step one in the phase one, we have the where we form the. This is like from the admin side first. We need to form a service learning committee. So this might be also needed maybe in your faculty or your institution. And then for the community, sometimes we need to conduct some feasibility study, maybe some documentation. This done by the what is required. I think Daniel, I think one of you mentioned about like applying permit. So here is where we might need to send some uh, letter to seek some approval. So for like the school, we approach the education, the state education department, and for the kampong, we might need to approach the district officer. I think Tariq also you experienced it, right? Where we first let them know because sometimes it has to be. I think in Malaysia we have to do we follow the flow, and
Can I add?
then we also then we provide some so the phase two here with the service learning delivery. After that, we also try to establish the community engagement. So if we for supervisor, the SL supervisor, I think before the pandemic, what we do, we have some pre-engagement. We go look at go to see the location itself, look at the kampong or the schools or the organization. We look how it look like, and we go and see the uh, maybe the school first. Maybe we need to see the headmaster and so on. But after that, of course, they also will assign us to with a teacher, with a community champion. Maybe we meet the ketua kampung, but later on, he we usually will also pass to the one who handle for us the service learning part, because they usually they also have like a lot of plan what they needed, what they want to do, and so on. If it's IT related, then it match as well what we can help them, what we can try to can assist them. Okay, how do we know where we need permission? Like I said just now, usually if school, we usually seek from the education, Sarawak Education Department. I think maybe in Cebu you have to sit there if you're approaching the schools. If like the kampong is the uh, district officer. So write a formal letter. Mention. Of course, it should be under the university, under the faculty. So it's one of the we explain what the service learning is, that we would want to do some service learning activity at that preset location. Uh-uh. So that's how lah, Daniel. So then we have the phase three here. Okay, phase three. Okay, the phase two just now service learning delivery. Also, we have the students. Students doing the visit. Later on, we'll cover again. And then the phase three, we have the evaluation, the assessment part, reflection, and monitoring. So these three activities are also coming from the three perspectives now, the three stakeholders. Of course, students do reflection, but at the same time, also faculty will assess, community also do assess. the students. Okay, so, all right. So this is what I mentioned just now regarding the evaluation, the reflection and monitoring. So this is the most I think emphasized on when service learning from when we conduct the project or the service learning. Important all the time. We have to also do this. I think this also refers to the one of the questions that mentioned. I think maybe Nisa that you said how to know whether students are doing okay or not. Do they really perform for the service learning part? So this goes, I think, continuously lah. It's like a continuous assessment. So we have the evaluation, reflection, monitoring. From these three perspectives, you have the structure there. Like every visit, we have the students to do their group reflection after they did the visit. And then they have also the individual reflection throughout the whole thing, the service learning. At the end of the last visit also, they have a session with the community after they perform such projects. Also, we have some assessment for them as also related with the service learning and the course what they did. So assessment also not only by the SL supervisor from the faculty, but also assessment here the assessor is the community supervisor as well. So reflection here, I think for service learning, for the student part, very important as to enrich what their thoughts, what for them to reflect what they've learned, what they experience throughout the service learning. So that's why we do the reflection. And I think in the course, I mean in the course, in the technopreneurship just now, our course we also have one learning unit. It can be a learning unit. It can be I think Tariq, because you had that, you created that first for techno on the community-based research. It's regarding for the reflection part. Or otherwise, what the lecturers of the course, they have a briefing or explain to them what is reflection here. And also supervisor, I believe they also can they guide how to do the reflection. So this is a part of the assessment. Okay. So next. So during the service learning, we require them to have 3 visits at least. This is previously physical, but I think like now online also we stick to the 3, but sometimes it might be 2. But if physical last time, more than 3 also. Sometimes the students, the group, they are very keen. They are very committed to their service learning, their project, where they also did more than 3 visits. So that's how we can see how they really, enjoy also doing it. And they are really committed in that sense. They go again, go back to the community. Sometimes maybe they still have not enough information, or they want to get some more feedback from the community. So they sometimes they do more than 3 visits. But what required in the course, we ask them to do the reflection is 3, maximum 3, maximum minimum 3 visits. So usually if physical, we go down with them together. The supervisor will accompany. Especially the first visit is very important. So we usually go with them. So the first just now is our aim, more on data collection, what are the needs analysis. So in their reflection, they have to put all that, what they think, what they are guided question, and also what are requires. And then visit two usually in the weekend. So the week here is referred to the lecture week. Like in Unimas, we have 14 lecture weeks. So week 2 usually we have a student briefing for all the students, and then we let them know about their grouping, and then week 3 we have the data collection, its analysis. Then we conduct training in the weekend, or deliver the project. At the same time, if it's a development type or some kind of uh, example, maybe a website, those things, or a video. So they might have some comments, feedback. So they might this week visit two might sometimes they go back and forth to get the feedback from the community. And then visit 3 we have the project evaluation, or the handover of the project. So this is basically what we have it. It is, and then we have the report writing and everything they have to submit. So hopefully by week 13, 14, they settle already everything. This is along the way. The course itself, the technopreneurship course, is ongoing. And I think like now what I see, the some of the assignment, I mean the part for the course also, sometimes it might also relate a bit with the service learning that they done. Okay. All right.
Yeah, dari photos.
So I
Yeah.
think this is photos before the pandemic. This is really before the big lockdown. The lockdown was in March. So we managed to deliver. I think I did lah. My group, I managed. If you can see the one yang ada topi merah, the one my group in the kampung. So we managed to visit. That was in February. So luckily my group we managed to finish, but there were some groups halfway done. I managed to did the visit too. So then we luckily then only reflection left, the visit 3 before the big lockdown last year, right? So these are all how to say, memories. Okay, so now I pass the next slides to Dr. Saila. Okay, so
Alright, okay. Thank you, Ita. Alright, so let's see how we're going to implement the SL. Okay, at our faculty, okay, just before, as what Rosita mentioned just now, okay, there are 1 or 2 projects managed to complete could complete the project lah. Okay, there are 1 or 2 groups that managed to complete the project, and before the lockdown, the big lockdown, and then after that, the rest that couldn't manage to complete it before the lockdown, straight away being forced to convert it into is either fully online, or we go for the semi online. Right, it is because of depending on the nature of the community that you have. Because some of the community, okay, let's say you deal with the community that has an elderly, for example, the JKK Kampung, okay, most of the JKK are elderly, so they are not IT savvy. So you have to go there and then meet with them by face to face. So these are the challenges we faced last year, yes, for the first MCO. Okay, okay. So now here, if you see here for the methodology, okay, we put it as a fully online and a hybrid. The one I mentioned to you just now is a hybrid, whereby we still go to the community, back to the community, meeting them face to face, and also at the same time, because when there was the lockdown, the student need to go back to the own hometown, so they'll be online with the community. Okay, the one that will be the community is myself last time. For example, I went to the kampong to meet with GKK, and at the same time I'll be online with my students. Okay, so that's why we call this method as a hybrid. And then for the fully online, this fully online we just implemented after the first MCO for the semester new session 2020-2021. Okay, this is fully online. All the class conducted online, and then we brief the students online. Okay, and then the student also meet up virtually with the community. Okay, so this is challenging for the students because they don't feel the real environment, or the aura is not there. Okay, the feel is not there when you're going to meet with the community. All right. So these are the possible e-Sulam projects that we have done during the pandemic. Okay, and then actually these projects also proposed by the UDIMAS Community Sustainability Center, ESC. Okay, they put it into a four alternative assessments, we call it here. Okay, it's either presentation, you do the portfolio, the performance or exhibitions. All right, and this is based on the faculties itself, how we're going to deliver it. For example, like our faculty, okay, the students can go for the project like online presentation. Okay, do the video for the community, like a corporate video, or do the help the community to do a brochure, to design the brochure, and then or else to design a website. Okay, and then in terms of the performance, okay, they come up with the to teach the community on how to do the microbit, for example, to the schools, and also to do the like Android box, okay, to the kids. Okay, so these are the examples of the projects that we've implemented, okay, especially during the pandemic, because everything we need to go online. Previously, okay, if we have like our Arduino project, we need to bring the tools or the Arduino box itself to the schools, and then the student will have a feel on how, or experience on how to setting up all the Arduino box. But now, since due to the restriction that we cannot meet up with the community, or we cannot bring the community this instruction or order by the JPT, so the students at our faculty, they have to go do the recording, okay, how to like DIY, okay, DIY, how to install, or how to do the Android box. Okay, and then that with a pre-recorded video will pass back to the community, and the community will watch the video and then get back to the students. Okay, this is how we're doing it during the pandemic. Okay. Okay, so this is another way, okay, how we're going to, this more to the engagement with the students, okay, and also with the community. All right, so how are we going to monitor the progress of the students? For example, we used Trello last time, okay, to monitor the progress of the students, because it's during online, you cannot expect too much from the students. Okay, they have their own problems at home. We never know that, so we make it flexible. All right, so the only way that we can monitor them is via the software like this, okay, or have a meeting online platform. We are using WebEx meeting. We conduct a weekly meeting with them to monitor their progress. And then during that time, since we have one project, 10 students per group, or at least 8 of them, so we'll get them, each of them, to say something during the meeting. This is to ensure that they are making a progress, and do something in that project, or contribute to the project. All right, and also as I mentioned previously, okay, they did the pre-recorded video training or the presentations. Okay, why do we do the pre-recorded video trainings? Because some of the community, they have a very low internet connection, so we need to do this one first, and then pass the video to the community, and then the community can watch at any time. Okay, and also during the visit as well, okay, this is, as I mentioned to you, is depending on the community. Some community can still accept outsiders to go to the kampung, okay, and then some community do not accept us. So if that particular community accept us, allow us to get into the kampung, we need to get approval from the Unimas, okay, and the community itself, and then follow the SOP. Okay, so this is what, as I mentioned to you, this is depending on the community that you're handling with. Okay, and also another tools that we are using during this pandemic is a Google form. Definitely is very important. This is to get the feedback from the students and also from the community, and then our assessment, we're doing it using a Google form. Okay, and even that, not all the community is available for the online. Okay, so we have to use another alternative, which is offline platform. So you have to call using your own handphone to call the community, okay, and then ask them how do the progress of the project, and then how do you handle for that project. Okay, um, another one is through the online file sharing and cloud storage. Okay, it is depending on the community. Let's say you can have, there's a youth that's IT savvy, then you can get that community, which is a local champion, to do this on behalf of the community. All right. Okay. Here I'm going to share with you. Okay, the sample projects in the previous years, okay, 2019 to 2020, okay, and there are two kampungs as an example here. Sorry, two communities. One is from the Sekolah Kebangsaan Sebandi Ulu at the Astajaya, Kota Semerahan. Okay, so and then the other one is Kampung Segudup. Okay, so the activities for this one, Sebandi Ulu, is to have Google Classroom training. Okay, although for us like IT expert, we know this is a very simple thing, but not for them. Okay, we did this kind of project because this is the first implementation of the MCO, and then is like everyone, you have to forced to go to for online. So by hook or by crook, they have to go to they have to go to online. That's why one of the supervisor, Mr. Johan, okay, he came up with this Google Classroom training to train the teachers on how to use the Google Classroom in order to conduct a class for the students. All right, and then the module come up with by the students again, and then the students were the one that delivered the training to the teachers. All right, and then this is another one, Kampung Segudup. Okay, this Kampung Segudup, okay, my group last time, okay, we developed a e-masjid portal for Kampung Segudup. Okay, this is a system, a web-based system for the GKK or committee of the mosque, okay, to monitor the activities done at that mosque. Right, so since if you see in the table here, okay, we only had 2 visits. The first visit was conducted before the MCO, and then second and third visit we combined it or merged together during the MCO. And then this kind of implementation of the SL, we call it as a hybrid, whereby we combine the face-to-face, the visit 1, and then second and third visit we combine, and they become face-to-face also and online. Okay, so this is we online with the students. Okay, I work with the GKK at that time. Okay, and then I online with the students, and then students can get a feedback from the community using the Google platform. All right, and another examples. Okay, earlier of the sessions. We had also SMK Moratuang. This is under Madam Rosita, and then Kampung Pinggan Jaya. This is a website, if I'm mistaken. Yes, okay. This is training under Madam Rosita just now, SMK Moratuang, on the topics in the Asas Science Computer. Okay, because at school they're teaching the Asas Science Computer syllabus. There's a syllabus about the computer to the students, and then this is a secondary school. Okay, and this one also okay, but then this one
already fully online.
Fully online. Yes, fully online. Yes. Right. So the delivery is about the games, right, Rita?
It's
games, right?
the game. This is one way, fun way to learn coding. It's in the form of a game.
Right. Yeah.
So a few lah.
Okay.
There's a few topics in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I can see here the HTML, CSS, and Java language. You taught the students.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
And then this is about Kampung Pilihan Jaya, another one. Okay. Actually, this project is a continuous project. 2 years, I guess, and then this continuation. So the first one was last time they come up with the develop a website, and then this time around they improve the website. Okay, menaik taraf laman web kini. All right. So this is also a project where I did online. Okay, and then
Uh,
we share with
but
you guys
however,
here.
Dr. Su, the case of Pinggan
Yeah.
Jaya was they had to use uh, phone call.
Yes, this is the one that you use
Uh-huh.
phone call. Okay, because there's a very low internet connection, so
Mm-mm.
Dr. Chia managed to get back to the community only using a phone call. Okay, in order to get a feedback. All right, so this is challenges that we faced during the pandemic. Okay, for the supervisor itself, the SL supervisor, mainly on the communication and involvement lah. Okay, so the communication is gonna have a problem to contact the community on how to continue project and getting feedbacks from them. This is one of our challenge. Another one is in involvement of the students. Okay, because everything is go online, so we really need to monitor the students whether they connect to the or whether they engage with the community or not. So we have to monitor them very closely. Okay, and then these are the two main challenges facing by the supervisor. Okay, about the student itself. Okay, because online the student will be at their hometown, at their home. Okay, we never know what are the problems they are facing. Okay, so there's a problem in terms of the communication wise. Okay, they're having a problem to contact their friends and also the community. Okay, and then also with the time management. All right, because all the learning process are conducted online, and there's also involvement. Okay, as I mentioned to you, okay, involvement of the student itself, we need to monitor them and do a lot, because for our technopreneurship, okay, it's taken by the fourth year student, which is the final year student, and then these final students are taking their final year project. Okay, so this is also one of the challenge for the students. Meanwhile, for the community, okay, also back to communications, you can see all of three stakeholders facing the same problem, which is communications, okay, and also facilities, okay, some kampung or some yeah, but school no problem, okay, but normally for the kampung, they don't have this kind of IT facilities, okay, in order to conduct the trainings or project. So what we did last time, we get them to that's what I mentioned to you, do the pre-recorded video and then send to them using a Telegram or WhatsApp. Then they're going to watch that, okay, that video. All right, and also lack of IT literacy, okay, because normally if we have a training, we'll go to the kampung, okay, and assist them physically, but not now, okay. So what we do was pre-recorded, and then we call them or we online with them, and then assist them synchronously, right? So these are the challenges that we are facing. So about coming to 6 years, these are the feedbacks from the community, okay, whereby based on their feedback, this as a project help the university students to move easily and link with other social community. So there are several feedbacks we got from the community about the civil learning program. Okay, so what are the how? I mean, during this pandemic, how can we contribute? We as university contribute to the society or the community. Okay, through SL program. For example, based on the training given, okay, that one is about the digital marketing. If I'm not mistaken, okay, through that training, okay, we can equip the local entrepreneurs with the basic online marketing. With that training, they can compete with the existing online business community. This is one of the example how we can assist them during this pandemic. Another more is we teach the students, because the kids during this online, okay, there's some kind of loss sometimes, so we conduct a training to them, okay, and teach them on how to introduce them with how to create a videos or presentation for the classroom. With that knowledge, it will, I mean, they'll feel confidence to participate in the class during the online, I mean, during this pandemic. Okay, besides, you also, I mean, can upskill the local talents in the community towards digital economy, whereby from here we suggested to them the potential trainings are required during the pandemic. Okay, another one, we think that this is kind of a big contribution to community is to the single mother. Okay, this is how we can help them to add the low income household wife, okay, for them to earn extra income by helping them to create a brochure. How we create a brochure is using the flyer here, is only using a Canva. Okay, so the student provide a training, conducted training, okay, and help the or that training is mainly for the household wife. It's for the single mother just now, okay, to help them to design the flyer or the brochure. Okay, with that brochure, they can promote their product. Okay, so this is a like a kind of photos, okay, for the video meetings that we have done, okay, with all the supervisors, whereby currently we have about 12 SL supervisors, okay, and then the number of students is depending on the intake for each semester. Okay, as what Dr. Tariq mentioned previously, we had up to 400, and then at that 400 is normally for the October intake, and we're gonna get about that number 3 to 400 maximum. Okay, and then the other intake, the other semesters, we're gonna have about 200 plus, right, Ita? The number of students.
Yeah. Nowadays we divide into 2 semesters. Previously, 400
2
over is
semesters. Yeah.
all 5 programs. Yeah. So
Okay,
yeah,
this is to make it balance, right?
yeah.
Yeah, because we have 5 programs. So for UNIMAS, we have 2 intakes, 2 semesters per year, February and October. So for these 5 programs, we divide it into a few groups. For example, 3 programs will take SL in the
Semester.
February semester. Meanwhile, the other 2 programs will take SL in the October semester, and also to balance up the workload of the SL supervisor. That's the purpose. Okay, so you need to maybe you guys, if you plan to apply or implement this SL program to the core course, so you have to think in this way on how to balance the workload of the SL supervisor. This SL supervisor is very important, whereby we need to take care of them to keep with us for a few years. This is very important. All right, so this is the activities done, okay, during the pandemic, and all conducted online. Okay, and then that's it, I guess, from us for this one. Maybe we can open for discussion for this one.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ita and Saila. So is there anyone who posed a question and the question hasn't been addressed, or do you have any follow-up question based on your previous question?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question here.
Daniel, your voice is not clear.
Oh,
Pretty noisy.
you're very noisy.
Yeah, still. Maybe you can write it down.
It's okay there. I think I'll type it down.
Yeah, now it's fine. Okay, meantime, when Daniel is writing a question, is there anyone who has a question?
Open for discussion, yeah.
Yeah, if not, then I can ask a very quick one. Yeah, you mentioned, Rosita and Sohaila, that to keep the staff members' interest in
Yes.
service learning is one of the big challenge. What do you mean by that, actually?
Okay. All right. So because this service learning we had started since back 2016, right? Okay, and then now it's up to 5 to 6 years that we have implementing this service learning. Okay, because sometimes the momentum's ups and downs. Okay, so you have to keep the momentum, the teamwork must be there throughout the years. Okay, so how we get them together is like we do the workshop together with them, and then we need to get the feedback from them early of semester. Okay, but before we start the semester, we need to meet up with them. Okay, ask what's the feedback, what's the suggestion on the civil learning that we have conducted previous semester. Okay, this is an open discussion with all the SL supervisors, and also in other words is we get them to publish together. So this is very important, and then this is the hardest thing that we are facing. Yes, because when you do the civil learning, it's not up to the. I mean, the benefit is not all only to the students, but also we need to benefit the SL supervisor so that they feel being appreciated. Okay, we must appreciate them, right? Like so this from me. Maybe Ita can add on more on this part.
Okay. So I think the how to keep the motivation going on, I guess. Yeah, I think those three stakeholders, of course, all three should benefit in that sense and for under service learning. Okay, I think I forgot to mention. I think one of Nisa, your question regarding the budget, right? So we do have allowance per visit for students every visit. It's not much, just a token actually. I mean, in physical, usually they spend it maybe for food, for their renting a car to the location, or maybe just petrol money. So that's the token for the students. So they have about like 10 ringgit lah each of them per visit. So times by 3 lah. If they have 3 visits, so they're gonna have 3 times for the payment, and
And that is
for
per student. That
for
is
the
per
students,
student. Per student, like
per
one
student,
student. Okay, per student.
So about 30 lah, I think 30 ringgit for 3
Yeah.
visits
Per
throughout
student.
the
And if you
semester.
have like 400
Yeah.
students, so if I calculate very quickly, so it's around 12,000 ringgits. Only per
Yes.
student.
Yes.
And is there anything for the supervisor if he's traveling along? Or
Yeah.
community?
For
Okay.
the supervisor, yeah. You want
Definitely
to
we
say
have. Okay. Yes, yeah, definitely we have. This is all the, also to motivate them, okay, to be with us along the year, okay. So we give them just a small token to them to appreciate them, 100 ringgit per project. Okay, let's say in the one semester you're handling 2 projects, so you're gonna get 200 ringgit, right? Because it's very hard, okay, to manage the students, to deal with the community, to monitor the students. It's very hard. So this 100 ringgit just a simple, I mean, a small token to the to SL supervisor.
And for
Okay,
my
and
understanding, that is this additional to their travel, like for example, or is it part of that? Like even when they go to the field, they run their own car, and I'm sure that they're going more than 3 times.
definitely.
Yes, yes.
200 is
But
actually not a token of appreciation; it is to support their program.
yeah,
Yes.
roughly. So yeah, it's like what we give it to them. But however, I think like the case, I think there's I think the trip to Cebu, there's one we
Yes,
had
last time.
one. It's specific, so we have additional budget lah, where the supervisor has to come up with a budget in terms of the students, their trip, how much it costs for them to travel to Cebu, as well as the supervisor that accompany
And the lodging as well.
the lodging for them in the hotel and so on. Yeah, that was
If I'm
also
mistaken,
so the one apart lah, meaning that top up additional. Yeah,
Of
yeah.
course,
So
Yeah,
you
about
continue.
yeah, just
yeah.
addition to the budget
Yeah.
one, I think I also want to ask one more thing. Last time when I was a part of that, we don't have any additional credit for the lecturer. But later on,
Yes.
Unimas has
Yes.
in
Yes.
so I will
We
ask
have
very
credit.
quickly, then we move to the Daniel question. Why you
Mm.
think that there is a need of an additional 1 credit hour? Why do you think it? That or there
Oh,
should be, and how you mobilize your school to manage that or faculty to manage to give that.
Yeah, luckily our faculty really support. We really fought for
mm-hmm.
that. I think we have very good deputy dean at that time, Dr. Kadina.
And she's the
Yes.
So
big heart.
I think the way they show is the amount of the hours, working hours, and you know that
Mm-mm.
we actually use the weekends as well to go to the
Mm-mm.
village.
The
So
community.
that
Uh-huh.
community. So that's all what in the working paper they put it up where it's what to say apart from that and then most of the SL supervisor they are not actually the lecturer of the course, so whereby they don't get the course credit in that sense. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
just recently,
yeah,
Yes, yes.
we managed to get 2 credit hours,
two.
right, Ita? Two
Two
credit
Yeah,
credit
two.
hours per year.
per year
Per
Per
year.
year.
Yes.
But
because you
coordinator
have
only
divided it.
still one tarik. Coordinator there's only one credit only.
One additional.
No, only
If you
one each per year.
okay, okay. So there is one question from Daniel. Then when to take permission, when to ask for permission. So of course that I understand. Usually, Daniel. Other than that, this is also part of free prior and informed consent
Yeah,
agreement. So you
yeah,
need to have the free prior the
free
visit and inform that
before.
they know about it. But I let Suhaila and Rasit also answer that when to ask for permission.
It
Okay,
should be
maybe
done
Ita want to
before.
answer first. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it should be done before, way before you start the semester. The base is before the semester. Uh, is it clear? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Do we get it
So
Yeah,
it
yeah.
should be
Clear,
done.
clear.
before the initial visit, or we sit first, then ask them on related agency to get the permission? Means if there is any additional permission needed. For example, you
Mm-mm.
went to the school and school says no, please also go to the DO office to get a permission and then
Mm-hmm.
teach us. So, and
What
what
we
I,
experience if
yeah.
school usually it's under the education department should be okay, but of course the village I think it's under the DO, right, Suhaila? That
Yes,
was first the
for the village
initiation.
under the DO, so we have to make an arrangement with them few months before we're going to start the SL at the faculty level. Because you know lah, because we are dealing with few parties, so we have to prepare few months before. Like
Okay.
for example, we're gonna have an October semester, so we're gonna meet up with the DO in August, because that DO, the district office, they'll assign us with another resident office. Let's say we have resident office, then we meet up with the resident office and do presentation with them to convince them what's the benefit of SL to the community. Then only we can go to again, okay, the other way, the other round, we go to meet up with the community itself, which is the like, for example, like kampung in satu area, there's what you call it? There's the hierarchy of the
Pemancar,
pemanca,
pemancar,
pemanca, and then penghulu,
different
and then ketua
kampung.
kaum. So we need to meet up with the pemanca,
Yes.
deal with them, brief them first. Okay, and then most of them are elderly, so it's very difficult for us to go online with them. So you have to go face to face. I mean, physically to them, to meet up with them.
Meaning
So
that
this
we
is
need
our
to know
experience.
the authority level. Very
Yes,
different.
authority level.
Yeah, but I believe that once we engage with that particular, I mean that kampong, after 2 times, 3 times, then there's no problem. because we already
Yes.
engaged. But the first
Mm-mm.
is of course a challenge,
Very
and
important. Yeah.
maybe a new community as well when you first approach.
Mm-hmm.
So it is very that one. But maybe first thing also you can try to contact first the ketua kampung, and seek for their suggestion, how to go about it. Should we go to the district office or not? Should we? So sometimes they will also inform, whether they are,
Mm-mm.
we have to follow that way, or they can say it's okay, you can that one. So we see. But usually the flow is that we go there lah, first the district office and so on.
The other
So
question is about
school
assessment.
education
Yeah.
that one.
Okay. The other question is about the assessment. That do you prepare the assessment tools, where even communities are engaged? Do you prepare the assessment tool, or is it community that they come up with the assessment tool?
Definitely is from our side. We need to prepare the assessment tool for them. Okay. As of now, we're using Google Form, so we're gonna provide a link to the community for them to fit in, and then that assessment is including all the components to assess the students. And then that assessment to be done by the community supervisor will be in the visit 3 or the last visit. Mm. Then before that, we need to get them to sit down with the students. Okay, this is like a round table. Okay, get them to comment. The time you experience this.
Re-
Okay,
reflection session.
Mhm.
reflection session. Yes. And then after that, they will evaluate based on the tool that we have.
Okay. Perfect. Is there any last question from our staff members? Anyone want to ask?
Hi, Madam
Okay.
Rafika. Hi, Dr. Saila.
Hi.
For your sharing. Yeah, actually, this one also still quite new to us. Previous semester, I already teach community. I already engaged with community. Just that, yeah, lah, because this is my first time, so the momentum is not there. Then
Okay.
how you encounter the second time? Like, do you have any advice for that? How to like the engagement between we as the lecturer and the community? Like, yeah, macam mana
Okay.
how to keep
Right.
engaged them?
Okay. So this is very
This is one
important.
of the
Yes.
challenge. You also mentioned the
Yes. Yes.
the one of
Okay.
the course lecture, the supervisor challenges, and to us the course lecturer.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully
Okay. Thank
any
you for the
advice.
question. Yeah. Ita, you go first.
Okay. Sometime I think it's communication. I
Mhm.
think uh, one way also, my experience, sometimes there are some okay, like the teachers sometimes, when it's teachers day, so I'll send some messages or something interesting. I might also share something with the teacher. That's all, just a simple WhatsApp message. They so far they appreciate it. I don't spam. I mean, once a while only, just to have that kind of how to say, engagement, informal lah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
I think even the villages also, like
Mhm.
Hari Raya or some occasion. So
Yes.
I do
Yes.
send some greetings. I do also, like during the pandemic, I do ask them how is the kampong, how are you, sir. They surprisingly they are very friendly, friendly. I
Mhm.
mean, so far lah, I've met them quite friendly. But I do have also one experience with one of the school as well. The teacher is not that keen to have that kind of the one, so it end also. So that was one
Mhm.
also. I did not manage to. We have one time only. I don't know, is it something wrong or that one? So But maybe this time I might. I think it's already nearly 2 years ago. So maybe this time it could be a different teacher handling that. So I can maybe try again to see how. There are challenges, but so far I think Malaysian quite friendly lah. But maybe some that is informal lah. Maybe formal we might start to, if we were trying to engage. Of course, it cannot beat how we can meet face to face. Face to face is more better. But like now online, we try to do how we can. We call them up. We explain. We try to get them to see how our students can help the community, and how the community also actually helping our students. That's how I always mention. So my students need to learn from you guys. I also emphasize on that. Yeah, I think that's my experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you
Well, for my
that
part,
one.
because it depends on the community that you're dealing with. Like for my part, last time I experienced also, I had one, okay, which whereby only did SL one time and then stopped, because there's that community seen not keen to accept us to that kampong. Okay, because they're okay, hey, what is this SL? Why are you doing something like that? Okay, so I just went through last time only for that one semester, and then after that I stopped to that kampong because there's no feedback, not a good feedback from the community. So if you are facing that kind of situation, you just move to the other kampong. You seems that the kampong would like to welcome you. There must be a
Move
two-way
on.
communication. Yes, move on.
Move on je.
Yes, you need to move on. Okay, we experience a lot actually with this kind
There's
of
a lot of
community.
other community. There's a lot of kampongs. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, just Marcella, also let me add one more thing on that, because I
Yeah.
really, I still remember when ECT, when I was working with ECT, and before me when Gary was there, and
Yeah.
Gary has the engagement with different villages, including Larapan in Sabah, which is somehow near to
Yeah.
your place, and Penan in Long Lamai and Baklalan. So these are the totally
Yes.
different villages from each other. Totally,
Yeah.
the social, cultural structure are different.
Yes.
Somewhere is hierarchical, Kelabit and
Yes.
Lunbawang is hierarchical, Penan is egalitarian. But what I like
Mm.
for their case is that, and I also learned this all the time from my background, is that it is your stepping stone. Someone need to bring you to a village. Someone need to bring you to a
Yes.
place, and it's so much depend
Yep.
on that person who is bringing you there.
Yes.
So what Gary and the
Definitely.
team has selected, that they look for their own students, that okay, whether there is an
Yeah. That's right. That's right. I
Unimasian
had one
there.
Definitely.
also.
Yeah, so that's
Yes,
very
correct.
important aspect, that you
Uh-uh.
identify one person. But
Yes.
then there is a
Yes.
very important aspect in that, another one, that that one person should have a good experience with the community. If that
Yes.
person is not a good interface in the community, and you are going through him or through
Yeah.
her, then it's going to make your life again very much difficult. So
Yes.
that also show us that when we engage a community, actually you are opening up the space for other researchers. So you are the
Correct.
interface. If you didn't do
Yes.
good, I tell you, they will not welcome any more Unimasian, any more
Yes.
UCTS people. They will say,
Yes.
oh, they
Yes.
are all the same. So
Yes.
instead of just jumping in, that we call parachute researchers. Instead of parachuting, that okay, you just jump in, and then everyone in the village ask each other that actually, who is that
Yes.
guy who is here, who is that girl who is here. No,
Yeah.
first contact someone, send a message that we are coming, whether would you like to
Yes.
be, and then get before that. Then when you are there, actually, then again the engagement process is very slow. So that's why I think
Yep.
Ita and Sohaila mentioned that if you are planning your next session, like then you prepare 3 months before, you prepare 4 months before.
Mm.
So that's
Yeah.
the important aspect, that okay, so slowness is the beauty actually of this work. There is no fast interaction, I tell you.
Yes.
It's
And
the
patient
human
also.
factor. human factor there. So we
the
cannot
human
push.
factor there.
We cannot push them to that one. Yeah, I did have the experience where when I was, no, I approached this village, not available, not okay. Then I asked my student, the group in there, any one of you, you want to recommend your kampong? So they say, Madam, why don't go to my kampong? So it's a nice arrangement there. So everybody, like she's happy, she can go back there to her, her kampong, and then everybody knows her, then it's kind of smooth the engagement process there.
So also there is a literature on that. If you want to read, Linda Tiohali on the decolonizing research methodology, there is a chapter on that the challenge for outside researcher and the challenge from inside researcher. So there are both challenging partners. Sometimes the inside researcher is also problematic. So, but then she wrote about it nicely in academic structure. Maybe you want to read that chapter. That is a nice chapter.
Okay.
Would be great for that one. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I will also share with you people the book maybe.
Yes.
That's a nice one. Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much, Ita and Sohela. If you have any last comment
No
you want to
problem.
give, otherwise, then thank you very much. We hope we will see you again sometime.
Yes. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for inviting us. Okay. And all the best. If anything, just contact us.
Yes. Take
Yeah.
care.
Bye-bye. Take care, everyone.
Take
Nice
care,
to see you
everybody.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Yes, sure.
Bye.
Bye.